What's going on, guys? This is Remy speaking, Level 1, and I'm here to bring you a review of something that's a pretty big deal. And not by big deal, I mean that it's actually just a really big unit. This is the Bluesound Soundbar Plus soundbar, basically. And, we had a decent amount of time testing the unit and playing around with it, and we've tested a bunch of other sound bars, but this one comes in a little different. I can tell you off the bat that this sound bar is not particularly for everybody, but it is for a lot of people that want really good sound and are sound enthusiasts with obviously not trying to shell out for this entire sound entertainment surround system that they're probably not going to be able to do in their home, bedroom, or anything else. So without further ado, now the soundbar itself has plenty of advantages, and that, starting off the bat, is its sound. Now the unit in itself is big, so what that allows it to do is have pretty big speakers within the actual unit casing. So the length of the actual soundbar gives you this really crisp and cool stereo sound, which, being the way it is from firing, it actually can mimic surround sound as well with its different decoders. Going into that next point, it has a couple of different amounts of connectors, one being a 3.5mm jack, being able to connect it to different units that way, an optical cable for TVs and, things like game consoles and stuff that have optical cable outs. It has an HDMI port for HDMI ARC, so being able to have that receiving sound between, the TV and the ARC being the audio return channel. So you're able to get the sound coming from the TV and go on to your soundbar. With that, it's able to decode different things, that being Dolby Atmos. And not only can it decode Dolby Atmos, but it'll also play it back as well, and it sounds really good off the unit. And then it also has an Ethernet port for TVs that also support that as well, which is just a hard line connection. The unit itself has 8 amplifiers at 120 watts. So obviously, like I mentioned before, with the speaker size within the unit, it gives you pretty big sound coming out of it. And it should. I mean, there are a lot of different things that you can do with the unit, and one of those things are the robust app that you can custom tailor different things, and that's the Bluesound. So that lets you do a ton of different things, customizations, equalizing, where you want the sound to come from, where you want the unit to connect to, with, or even fire from. And it also just makes it a hi-fi system. So not only will it connect to your TV for entertainment purposes and everything else, you can also connect it Bluetooth. That'll allow it to do it with your iOS, so Apple and Android. So you get Bluetooth sound, hi-fi, and it actually has higher end Bluetooth connectivity. So not only do you get better sound than regular Bluetooth stuff, it also allows the thing to have multiple Bluetooth things going on. So it'll allow it to receive a Bluetooth signal, and it also let it push out a Bluetooth signal, like let's say to your Bluetooth headphones and stuff like that, to have multiple things going on, which is really cool. Not only that, but it also has the Wi-Fi antenna, and it has more than one. So the Wi-Fi is actually how you're really communicating with the unit, with your app and stuff. But being able to hook this up with a pair of PulseFlex 2i speakers and backend speakers lets it give it the full kind of surround package. I mean, there is another thing that you're able to do, which is connect the unit with the subwoofer, which it has a subwoofer that, you can connect to it wirelessly with the unit, but it also actually lets you plug it in hardwired with a third-party subwoofer, which not a lot of soundbars even have that kind of capability, which is actually really cool. Being able to give you sort of choices and different ways of which you want to connect the unit, or even put them in different rooms, is pretty key on this. Honestly, the sound that comes out of this unit alone makes you pretty much not need to necessarily have a soundbar. And in our case, I never really thought that I needed one. With tons of different soundbars, you absolutely need it, but this one has enough bass in it just off of the soundbar alone that I'm pretty satisfied with the sound that comes out of it. More than satisfied, actually. Our biggest gripe really is that this is a true big boy soundbar. Coming in at 5.5 inches high, this really doesn't clear a lot of room for TVs that are on stands. Now, they'll obviously recommend that it's 55 inches and up on your TV before you're using a unit like this, but there are not a lot of TV stands that do that. So you either need to figure out the best way of mounting this soundbar on the wall, which it actually comes with a wall mounting kit, which is actually really cool. So that's relatively easy. Or that your TV is actually wall mounted while the unit sits on an entertainment system. We wish it was probably a little bit shorter to give you more flexibility on that. And their older soundbars kind of do the same thing. I'm like, this is probably the tallest soundbar that I've ever really worked with. So if it was slightly shorter, it'd be like absolutely perfect. But there are plenty of ways to customize this in terms of the way you have your TV orientation and then where you want to have your soundbar orientation, so that you can figure that out as you're setting the stuff up. Overall, between the actual app, the amount of customization that you get, and then the amount at which they update the app gives you a good amount of future-proofing for a product like this. Sound is great. The way Dolby Atmos comes out of it is great. The way, it can receive some of the higher end things like HDMI, eARC, and other connectivity things. And then just the sound and stuff alone, and being able to seamlessly go between the app, Wi-Fi, connecting speakers with it, connecting headphones with it. We had a lot of fun playing with how different ways of which you can use the unit and how easy it is to actually like do all those things together, or setting up kind of preferences to how you want them to be done. Obviously, while we've played with things with music and watching some entertainment with movies and stuff like that, I thought gaming sounded really great. We played our natural games, we saw our natural like matches and stuff like that. All of it looks really, really cool and plays very well. Love my specific racing games like Forza Horizon 5 and stuff like that. Sounds really good with the unit. So I would definitely recommend this, on the higher spectrum of like gaming, because that sounds really good off the unit. So it's a little bit of a higher price point, but for those that are really thinking about getting into something that just is going to sound really good nearly out of the box with little customization, but being able to get really down nitty gritty into like what you want and how you want to listen to it, and then having a good overall soundbar for years to come, this is definitely the unit that you should be looking at. The Bluesound Soundbar Plus is a pretty good choice in our opinion. Price is a little high, and then the soundbar in itself is big, so hopefully you have the space for that. But otherwise, when you're making your decision to purchase a soundbar, keep the space in mind that you need to actually make it work. Hope you guys like this video. Definitely comment, like the video below. Let us know if you have any questions for the Bluesound Soundbar Plus, what you could connect to, how the app works or works best with. Check out our review for the Pulse Flex 2i speakers coming soon. Definitely sub to the channel. And this is Remy with Level 1. Catch y'all later.